Im Endeffekt läuft es eh so. Ups, sorry. Im Endeffekt läuft es eh so, die greifen ja das Audio von uns hier ab und schicken das dann darüber. Also über OBS ist ja gar nicht live und alles, das ist ja hier nur so. Ah, jetzt. Okay, we have Kai listening in on his phone right now, and it looks like you can actually hear us.
Yeah, looks like we have a little bit of an audio issue.
Happens to the best. But if you can hear us, let us know in chat. Chat, please.
Right. How do we sound? Is it all crisp and everything?
Are we going to be allowed to continue here?
Or do we still sound like robots
Oh,
or something?
I can hear myself on Kai's phone. Kai is just like the very best phone.
Yeah. Dude, I think like we kind of sound like, yeah, we kind of sound like constructs or something. Like Usasago constructs, you know, just kind of pooped out.
Okay. Ja, schreibt ja auch. The Reporty.
Okay.
Okay.
One good thing, like I do like robots quite a bit, so you know, there's that.
I have 2 construct tokens that you made for me, right?
Right.
You
I mean, they gotta do some sound, right?
Yeah. I don't know if we should like keep doing this or is it gonna sound like really bad for the listeners. We will see. I mean, this game could be over like very quickly now anyway. Yeah. Oh, the gain is right, maybe.
Okay, just reduce a little bit the gain. No, it's the same. Just it's you just put down the volume a little bit. That's it. Don't know. Maybe it's some.
Okay, we are back live again. Sorry for the delay. Our technical team is working on this. We got the best audio engineers in all of the conference are working on the problems.
The whole country is working for us.
Yeah, I wish. Maybe one day, Kai. So, what do we got here? The opponent Victor is like discovering the combo that we're seeing set up here on Pablo's side. As Kai already pointed out, Victor is sitting on at least 1 Swords to Plowshares. We already fired off our Snapcaster mages, so maybe that's going to be the only one for a while. Sylvan Library still has not been deployed, and I think there's really only a few things that you want to force of will here, especially like in the mid game. You would go after Sylvan Library, you would go after crop rotations, I would think. Not so much after Light from the Loam, so maybe Pablo is literally just like holding back the Sylvan Library because he knows he doesn't really need to deploy it and prefers tapping down Victor's resources. As we see, like Victor, this is something like turn 6, I would guess. Still very, very tight on resources. Now finally getting to 3 mana. Like Kai, what do you expect out of 3 mana from the Jeskai control?
I mean,
oh!
Basically,
whoa!
this is like a big haymaker already in game number 1. Not bad. I don't think Pablo has a lot of answers to a result back to basics in game number 1. So I guess we got a real game here. On the other hand, like, you know, there's a Mox Diamond. Like Mox Diamond is probably gonna be like the key player in the future turns, unless it gets like prismatic ending maybe.
Yeah, but dude, do you see the hand that Victor is sitting on? Like, I was already like in very much ready to call it for Pablo. Like, Pablo was sitting in such a comfortable position. Probably did not expect the back to basics, even though I gotta admit, like, Victor was switching out a lot of basics. Like, this is
right.
We we see a lot of basics out of Jeskai control, but from the very beginning, like he was playing towards us, and we see like another, what is this, like, at least one copy of Force of Negation, which is gonna be a great tool to fight our life from the dome. And then yeah, right now just the beatdown keeps going, and Pablo can technically make the token, but it's gonna be a problem if we are actually up against the Swords and Plowshares. Try to talk. Yeah. Test. So how's it going? No, it's not. Oh, we're using the buff one. Ah, okay. Yeah, okay, so we got both players sitting here playing the spell, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Actually, people can hear us on stream, right? I don't know, but we're trying this out. It looks good. Oh, it's still just started. He's saying lower the gain. Oh yeah, it's over there. Okay. So now we try again. Maybe we can finally take away like being robots from us. We wanna be humans, Kai. I wanna be a human. Can you help me? Please. Give me back my beautiful voice.
And we can call it robot returns.
Impact robot returns. Maybe we have like a big like robot audience tuning in now.
Like from space.
Yeah.
It's like a space car.
They wanna see the most advanced robot tech in the world. Witcher Saga was just the beginning. If chat can hear us, probably not, but what is the best robot in Magic? Is this robot? No, the robot's not a creature type, right?
Not yet.
Construct is a creature. Yeah, basically construct's a creature.
But I'm telling you, like robot's gonna be like a theme next year. Maybe.
Okay, quick question, Kai. Which creature type is Arcbound Ravager?
Robot. Robot construct.
It's a beast, see?
Really?
500 points.
Since when?
Since it was, I don't know, printed?
Since Magic.
I mean, look at Arcbound Ravagers, right? It's exploding almost. It's like a beast. Everything's a beast. It is. It's seriously. I'm not even joking. When you don't know which creature is, creature type, it's either a beast or an elemental. Nothing in between. That's how it works. This is the Julian rule of creature types. It's actually in the biology books. Seriously. Yeah.
porque con el USB se escucha. ¿En mis orejas se escucha bien? No, porque. A ver, Kai habla.
Kai? Kai?
Yes.
Can
Check, check, check. This is Kai. This is Robot Kai, or maybe non-Robot Kai. Let's see.
maybe we need like robot engineers to fix this? Like robot problems require robot solutions? We'll get there eventually, people. Thank you for sticking around.
Pero Mortu, esto está muteada. Captura entrada audio. Que hable Kai. Kai.
Kai, can you?
Yes. Check, check, check.
Pero
It's me
espera.
again. The
Pero
boy robot. Yes, check. 1 2 1 2.
Okay.
How's it going?
This is me. Is it getting any better?
Ta-da-ta-ta-dun-dun. Check. Check, check, check. Yeah, I still sound like a robot with a small voice. Lower the game. Okay.
Okay. We can do that once we get them back on screen for us. Actually, we can't commentate them on the small screen, you know?
Yeah.
You're gonna get like some solutions here. Okay. Okay, we have the engineers working on the deck of our ship. We got a side screen that we're gone. And it looks like this game has developed like quite a bit. Okay, do it seriously. So many permanents. And is that still that's still back to basics on the table. But now from the red-green land side, like we got everything we need. And you know, funny enough, we have Crucible of Worlds. Like there's a scenario where if we want to reuse some of our lands, we could technically like wasteland them and then replay them again if we really had to, like in a very long game. And right now we're starting to Ghost Squad. Okay, we're gonna see like how many basic lands does Victor actually have? Because Kai, seriously, oh my god,
Yeah.
check this out. I mean,
This is not.
3 explorations Crucible and a Ghost Quarter.
Dude, we are like going hard mode, right?
This is how deep can you go? Like how many?
It's like it's kind of fun. Like the Pablo goes for us quicker than Victor can search.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep ghost quartering, I mean, you don't even need to search in between, right? Just go away. And you know, Pablo is just waiting for one single card because right now for Victor it's completely a tempo game. Victor is gonna try to get there somehow before Pablo like ghost quarters out all the lands and finds the big problem card, which would be Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale, because that's gonna destroy his entire board at this point.
Right. It's pretty much a reset. Victor's kind of has to work with the things he is on the battlefield for now. Like it's just not a lot of like he knows that next turn a few more lands are gonna be blasted, and also there's no white source anymore. So the Merit Age is pretty much lethal at this point.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
There are no flyers, and this doesn't look very great for Victor.
Yeah.
There's a Narset to basically clear top of the deck, but again, Narset doesn't really find a land, and a land is all Victor is looking for here.
Yeah, Ponder maybe can dig him towards additional copies of planes, but he might already be out of planes, right? It's not very uncommon for Jeskai decks to only have 2 planes available throughout the entire 75. And at this point, the only thing he can hope for is maybe to find a fetch land. But even then, if you find a fetch land, then Pablo can just like ghost quarter you like 3 times, and at that point you will completely be out of anything you can find. And if like this is what I really appreciate about really good red-green lands players. You might remember Chavez Hugh in the finals of the Legacy GP against, I want to say, Christian Calcano around 2015ish that he won. He went so deep, he ghost quartered and took away every single resource Christian had, to even take away all the planes, because he knew that his opponent was also having submerge. So if you're a very diligent lands player, you take away, you constrict them, right? You're like a ball constrictor. You run your opponent out of anything they could have, and then at that point, honestly, it wouldn't even matter how you kill them, right? You could even like try to deck them if you had like a way to like get back your cards. Like in the past, you used Academy Ruins, but at this point, it's almost academic. Like we go for the token. There's gonna be assaults to plowshares. Okay, we did not clean that Tundra. Okay, I mean extra life. Okay.
Well, 20 more life. Not too bad, honestly. Victor is kind of like in a desperation mode here, trying to close out the game with some snap casters and some monk tokens, which is it deal a lot of damage, but.
Do you think we're going to see Glacial Chasm from Pablo's side? Because if this mentor gets completely out of control. That could happen very quickly. At that point, 14 life is not a lot. Like, you can go through that pretty quickly. In Pablo's hand, we see a wasteland, we see an ancient tomb, which don't really do anything for us here. I guess we could try to get rid of additional white sources here, and then I think there's a blast zone which could take care of some of the tokens. But overall, Pablo, what are we actually looking for here on Pablo's side? It's gonna take a lot of time to rebuild.
Yeah, I think like the only thing Pablo wants to do right now is to just not die. I think the long game kind of favors him, and he can make a better touch token every single turn. I feel because he can play 3 lands from the graveyard each turn. He's a little worried about those monk tokens, just getting too big maybe. And we do have a Jace activation every turn, and the Narset activation is also coming in next turn. So there can be like a little bit of damage,
I wonder whether Pablo actually has way more life than we see here, because I think we, just like a turn earlier, saw Swords of Plowshares on the Marrow Large token. So we see him sitting at 14 here, and I guess they might have just forgotten to update the life total. So he could be sitting on something like 34 life. Still, something that Mentor is known to choose through rather quickly if they can chain a couple of cantrips, and I think we see at least 3 monk tokens, so basically every spell you play is plus 4 additional damage. Imagine that, every brainstorm you play Fire Blast, Fire Blast, Fire Blast, but that's still pretty convenient when you're sitting on a bunch of life.
Yeah, it's like Fire Blast draw a card.
One make a token.
Make a token.
Why is anybody still playing Burn? We got Mentor, the best Burn token ever.
It's straight up the better, Blue White is the better Fire Blast deck.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting, what Victor's avenue to victory is going to be. He can only really play a tempo game, as you mentioned. Pablo already has the long game covered, and just sitting on a couple of additional counter spells is not really going to do it. If Pablo gets greedy and tries to loam, but I don't know, why would you ever want to loam, right? 3 expirations and Crucible. The only way he can interact with Pablo's board is through white cards, and yeah, those are going to be pretty hard to really resolve here. I guess you could try to run up Chase and try to win that way. Other than that, I'm not really sure. Well, what is this? That's a ponder. It looks like it's gonna get shuffled. Yeah, Victor.
Ponder does how much damage at this point?
Well, actively 4 or maybe even 5. I think there might be another token.
Yeah, I think there's another token on top. I mean, that's not too bad. There's obviously also the old techniques where you can cast a spell and then force your own spell, right? To get more prowess, those kind of things.
The style points. Those are the extra points that you get in the very first round of the tournament.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. If you're around for a very long time, those little tips and tricks. I think when Fate Reforged came out, everyone was so hyped about Monastery Mentor, the many things that card can do on its on its own.
You know what the biggest fun I ever had in Magic? Some of the biggest fun I ever had in Magic? 12 years ago, I used to be a lands player. I played a ton of lands. And sometimes, when I was feeling like it, one of my win conditions was Mindslaver. I would love to do that here. Okay, here we go. Second token coming down. We make another 2020. It's going to go up after a token, not quite as big. And there's going to be a ton of damage coming in. Somehow, Victor loses a lot of life. Okay, I think I figured this out. I think the name... or rather the life totals might be switched. You just see how Victor dropped? Yeah, I think Pablo is actually on 5 life and Victor is still sitting at 14, which makes a lot of sense. But that also means that Pablo will now need to do something. He can get rid of a bunch of tokens, but that's not enough. And since he can also, actually oh, this is interesting. So I wonder what actually happened to the token. Okay, it's still in play. He was actually forced to make the token mid-combat, otherwise he would have died to one of the mentor tokens, but that of course allows Victor now to bounce the token. Wait. Okay, we will see. It worked out for Pablo, in the end. Okay, here we go. Okay, we will see whether life totals will be fixed. We see some sideboarding on Victor's side. Probably gonna bring in some graveyard hate, I would think, maybe something like your typical... maybe surgical extractions. From Pablo's side, we see a couple of red blasts coming in. We see chokes coming in. Well, you don't want to be up against those.
I mean, chokes kind of the opposite of the back to basics on game 1, right?
Yeah.
I guess we don't untap anything.
That's just like the theme, right? Skip your untap step theme decks. This is what Wizards used to put out, like back then when we had these pre-made decks. Who do you think is gonna get favored after sideboarding? Is there anybody who like picks up some really sweet stuff, or is it gonna be the same?
Like both decks are picking up a lot of answers for the other deck, right? Like Victor is obviously interested in things like Meltdown to deal with like Moss Diamonds to really like lock them out under back to basics, and Pablo kind of wants to do the same with like Rashad Ports and the choke. So it will probably end up in some sort of like a resource battle. You know, how many mana does do they play have, right? Access in each of the turns. Victor's cards are a little more expensive. Like Jade's Demand's got this like a 4 mana card. Monastery Mentor costs 3 mana, and like all the follow-up plays are also quite expensive. Pablo sits more on like a pretty like light mana curve. You know, Crop Rotation doesn't really cost a lot of mana. And we do also see like Sphere of Resistance in Pablo Diez deck. Like I like that card a lot.
Dude, that card is so annoying. Like if you want to like chain all of your cantrips and then eventually resolve your, like you mentioned, like 3 or 4 mana spell, it's just so annoying when everything takes an extra turn. And it's not like you lose 1 turn. You usually use additional turns. Like you want to cantrip a couple of cards, all of a sudden it costs you like 2 extra turns, 3 extra turns. What I believe for Pablo, the biggest pickup is actually going to be the Pyroblast, because the Pyroblast is actually going to allow him to fight over the back to basics even once it has resolved. And from Victor's side, we probably see some of the counter magic stay in. It's kind of awkward, right? You want to keep your prismatic endings, they take care of the Mox Diamonds, they take care of the explorations. You probably like, do you take out your Swords of Plowshares? It's just like they don't really line up very well against Mirrored Lage, right? Especially in the face of Sylvan Library, and
Yeah,
I could see that.
As you saw in the first game, like Pablo very well knows that like going for a blind Mirrored Lage is probably, especially post sideboard, is just not really what you want to be doing. And instead, like he aimed for the white sources, like he goes for every white source before deploying that Mirrored Lage. So like I think that the post sideboard games might also be like really slow games where both players kind of just don't do anything for the first 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, we say that now, right? But sometimes Lance has these like complete insane busted breakout draws where you go like, I don't know, Mox Diamond, and you got your explorations going on very early. And then like from the Jeskai side you go, land, ponder, go. Is this where you want to be? This is not where I want to be. I just like have such a sweet spot for Lance. We see Pablo is actually considering taking out the Tabernacle. I'm not sure whether that actually was the card that had to go. We keep the Caracas. That's going to be interesting. What does Caracas bounce in the matchup here? What does it do for us?
Almost nothing, I feel. Like,
I was going to tell you, it can protect the token. Back to hand, play it back for 0. This is how people used to play at my LGS.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, this is why they invited us, like, from the Everyday Eternal podcast, where we give and the best and only the best comments and tips and advice for all legacy days.
Like just the other day, I can guarantee Kai actually spell snare days. I'm pretty sure about that.
I was just gonna say that we're gonna talk about spell snaring days and things like that on the show. So everyone who just tuned in, welcome. I hope you have a chill, good time with us. It is Legacy, like one of the most fun formats ever in Magic, and we're just here to have a blast with you guys, and also hi to everyone in chat. Appreciate it. So awesome. we do have a 7 keep on Pablo's side, and I already like a few cards of I think I saw a Sphere of Resistance and like 2 lands or something.
Yeah.
Interaction.
We see a needle in Pablo's opening hands. What are we gonna go after? I guess we can go after some of the planeswalkers. Is there anything else that we really? I guess technically he hasn't seen the Stoneforge Mystic, I believe. So that would be something.
Yeah, you could do that. Also, like, if Victor plays a Crocus, you can also like stop that.
Oh, that's
again,
smart.
I guess you can also waste it, but why not have like multiple answers for things, right?
Oh, this is so good. You have probably, I would assume, one of Ancient Tube. Dude, this is what I live and die for. Like getting to use like 2 mana on the first turn to make your opponent's life so much harder. You talked about this right earlier. Like we're gonna shut down the cantrips like really hard.
I'm telling you, this game is gonna be a long one.
Maybe, and as we say that, but still, when you think about it tempo-wise, we traded our 1-drop for the opponent's 2-drop, basically. And from here, we're gonna have access to green mana, very important for Pablo's deck. And I guess that's probably just gonna be a keep, a pass. Are we actively surgical? Is that gonna be a prismatic ending? Interesting. I mean,
Could be.
why aren't we waiting? I guess we're not waiting until draw step because, yeah, see, there's that brainstorm, and then we actually would give Victor a free shuffle effect. So that's smart. From Victor's side, there's really not much going on. I would guess we're gonna be a quote-unquote ramping into Chase, which is always a great card in this matchup. We're also gonna take a look. Okay, we see Palace Jailer in the deck. That's another long-term out.
Just getting the Monarch, like Pablo's deck is not well designed to regain the Monarch.
Well, there's one way to regain the monarchy, and that's hitting them in the face of a 2020. That's the best way to come the king again.
I'm gonna take the Monarch, and also I'm gonna take run away with the game. Like Victor's hand, honestly, it's not too bad either. It's kind of flexible. Like the brainstorm looks pretty good. There's a third land. You know, the meltdown also doesn't look. It kind of looks kind of like a blank right now. But as we know, like the game will probably go longer, and if games go longer, there will also be more diamonds on the field as well as more surf resistance, right?
Yeah, yeah. Checking the end again. Okay, is there anything? Oh, we actually do have the Sylvan Library. Yeah, and Pablo knows. Okay, I'm not gonna need the Pyroblast right away because there's no Sphere of Chase or Planeswalker coming down. So he's safe to deploy the Sylvan Library. And actually, I kind of like the Surgical now. The Surgical makes it so that the Sylvan Library is actually gonna stay in the game, right? We now know this is gonna resolve, and it's not gonna be taken away by Prismatic Ending. And from now on, I would guess Pablo's gonna go really, really deep, life total wise. It feels like sometimes, you know, you drop your Sylvan Library, and it's like whatever it shows, you're just gonna take it, even if it's bad cards, because then you can dig deeper afterwards.
Like, does Victor even have a removal for left for Silver Library? I don't think so.
I guess sometimes these days people like they have engineered explosives again, but I would be very surprised. I think the Sylvan Library is just gonna stick.
Oh, you know what? I think I found an answer. I think there's still Narset, right? Narset is removal for.
Okay, yeah, okay,
I guess you can say that.
that's virtual removal. Yeah, that counts. That counts for sure. Like Pablo can still kill himself with the life payments, but he's not gonna get anything out of it. There's going to be a wasteland coming down, and yeah, Victor is really. We saw Victor pick up an unexpected back to basics, but Pablo now sitting behind the Pyroblast. It's going to be funny whether Victor will try to actively trade the chase for the Pyroblast because Pablo knows about it, and then try to land the back to basics, or whether he's going to run out the back to basics. Like, which card do you think is actually better in this spot here? Which card would you rather have Pyroblasted? Which card do you want to resolve?
Like, if I was Victor, like I'd be so thrilled if our back to basic results like. That card is just like undeniably good versus a land stack. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so the wasteland targeted like a flooded strand, which was needled.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? We saw from the surgical, we actually saw the. Ooh, that's so sweet. Okay, I guess Victor didn't really expect that. Or maybe he just played it because he just like had no other way to do it anyway. Okay, so we see Pablo picking up the prop rotation here. Once again, it's going to be interesting which strategy Pablo's going to go for. Pablo, at this point, can't really say he knows the coast is clear, like a brainstorm is resolved. Victor has drawn a bunch of cards ever since he last saw his hand. So at this point, maybe, you know, you just keep doing what you did in the first game. You heavily go for resource denial, and then try to just, like, bleed your opponent out.
Right, yeah, and that's exactly what we talked about, like, between the games, right? It is not going to be about tempo or speed or anything, and also not about card advantage. In fact, I guess if you can't cast any of his spell, then you are mind boosted, you know, quite a bit.
Yeah, I think Victor is actually pretty close to having to discard at the end of turn here, right? I see like something like 7 cards in his hand, I want to say. There's also a Teferi, which he would love to bring down.
Oh, dude, yeah, Teferi would be like goal number 1, I think.
Oh, is this gonna, did we have somebody actually request, okay, lands before spells? No, we don't do that. So apparently, like in the 3rd edition or something, in the little booklet that taught you how to play the game, it actually taught you to put your lands in front, so that's why a lot of old school players still do that. But no, we're not doing that here. Wizards also has like a policy, like an actual Wizards tournaments, you're not allowed to do that. But we, in Spain, we allow you to do what you want for the first game, I was gonna say. For the second game, order has been restored, and we will see which kind of chaos might actually like evolve in the 3rd game. Dark Depth comes down. We do not have any way to enable it other than just like paying a bunch of mana. This is not the kind of discount I want. But yeah,
I mean, it's not crazy to do it.
Yeah,
you know, I guess you and I, like we have seen a few games where you pay 30 mana and
You melt the ice, flame of ice. I mean, that's how it works, right? That's why it's ice counters on it.
Right.
Oh, dude, Victor. Oh, did Victor just discard the chase? Yeah, he's so far away from ever resolving that. Yeah, I can. It must hurt so badly, right? But a lot of people like these days. I think we talked about it on our podcast every day, John. That like maybe Legacy is not a chase format anymore. It's kind of hard to like really swallow. Like, didn't you actually mention like one of the most famous Japanese players talk about that?
Oh, dude, yeah, like Yuta Takahashi, you mentioned like the other day, where he said that the One Ring might replace Jason Mind Sculptor in most formats, which is obviously like a very sad thing to hear. But here we are.
Yeah.
And you know, like the choke was like one of like Pablo's absolute trump cards in this matchup. And
But it looks like he doesn't even need it, right? I mean, we have our own personal. We have choke at home. It's called Roshaden Port.
well, it resolves anyway because of Power Blast, yeah. Dude,
Oh.
those enchantments they're gas. Like,
Honestly, at this point, if I had access to the graveyard or another wasteland, I might almost just like go aggressively. Wait, I was gonna say go aggressively against the flooded strand, but isn't that still needed?
that is still needle.
Oh, well,
Yeah. Victor currently working with pretty much 0 mana at this point. Like,
well, he's got a meltdown, which is gonna take care of the needle. But I mean, he's still very far away from ever having the red mana for it, I guess.
right, exactly. Dude, like, yeah, like must feel like very confident in this position. Like, since the start of the game, like I don't think there was he has always been like in driver's seat this whole time, and now, like, you know, like we got the we got the testing stage, but honestly, the game can also be decided by Usasaga constructs or really anything.
Yeah, at this point, it's pretty much over. Victor unable to get, like, you could get. Oh, okay. Second attempt to need. No, still needed. Oh, you know what? Screw it. We're just gonna go to, well, not the third game. Pablo takes the victory. 1-0 in this tournament. There's gonna be 6 rounds. So Pablo one step closer towards trying to become the Spanish Legacy champion. As I mentioned earlier, this is really, really cool. This is what people are doing in Spain, or have been doing in Spain for almost an entire year. At LGSs across all the entire country, people have been collecting points, have been accumulating ways to get into the top 64 players in all of Spain right now, and they're fighting out today. So, Kai, how close have you ever been to becoming like the Japanese